Hello everyone, Cheshire the Cat on the scene with part 10 of Danganronpa. We begin with the class trial of Chihiro Fujisaki. I think I said that right. Boop the cat. Hey brain rot! Well, I gained a couple of skills, so I may as well put them to use. Yeah, those are the only two skills I got. 12 skills total. Wow, there's one for each classmate, huh? Alright. Let's go on in.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your
the hug,
votes
I
will
appreciate that.
determine the results.
Just really quick, gonna make sure I'm actually recording and stuff because I'm very tired. Okay, we're good. Ah, wrong tab. There we go. It is later than I'm used to being awake, but somehow I'm not sleepy. Let's begin with a basic
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Yeah, it was the locker room dumbbell. I already know that.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Had to be the scene of the crime. There was something with a blood stain on it. Yeah.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it would.
According to the Monokuma file, I bet it was an iron.
Ah, crap!
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Xeshire.
Cheshi! Hey Neps, how's it going?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it would.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument could it have been. I bet it was an iron pipe.
Got it.
Hi.
Thank you for the 200 biddies. How are you doing, Neps?
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Welcome to part 10 of Danganronpa. I've
It
been
was
at this all
covered
day.
in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah.
Yay! That's so creepy!
No, it's reasonable.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
Alright, Richie Richardson.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely! For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's no way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot the actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you take the silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation right in front of you. Oh, I'm not playing on gentle, I'm playing on kind. So I do have to do this. Let's see what it looks like.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Had me convinced. It shows the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm...
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well,
So
I
I
mean,
would think.
come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
Now I see why the focus meter comes in handy.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Uh-huh.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Well, if you weren't with Tagami, I wouldn't blame you for knowing who Jack is.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Genocide Jack, the world doesn't know. Mistaken, it has to do with the body.
I got it!
It's how they were
Apparently,
positioned.
In every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Hey. Hey,
Another
Switch.
riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. Well, it will not be Toko. The answer is that one person, but multiple people, right? Time for a minigame. Shoot, I'm actually trying to remember this. Shoot. This is the part where I don't do so well. Split personality? Oh. No. Oh. Schizo. Really?
Now I understand.
That's the word they put there?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Oh, hey, they got it right.
Perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, they call it dissociative identity disorder. Still using the game didn't age well. Still using it to demon. But that's actually using the name what it's called.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Isn't schizophrenia something else entirely? The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm sure everyone who's played this has screwed the Hangman's Gambit at least once or twice. Yeah. Well, because I don't know... I feel like the Hangman's Gambit is a case of, like, what didn't get translated well. I'm fine, fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Are you dead? Sarah had really hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. It's quite concerning. She sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Could be
Not to
tripping.
mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control. Yeah. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
What a jerk!
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. Won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
that if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Still.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. I just thought I could have crossed the room, but in the next second...
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Oh my god. Why is the music so good?
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
What up with the tongue?
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the
That's why I hope I don't love Toko so much. Sio? This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
And it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? There's another thing. The police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless.
Genocide or Sio? Ah, gotcha.
I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Yeah, but...
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
I believe her. Maybe she's totally right about that, but... something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. House of the dead body. Yeah. He wasn't killed correctly.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, I just have to focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have been the answer. Right.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I found where it is.
But do you
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches
There.
completely.
No, it's wrong.
It's not the same.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Interesting
Let me
comparison.
rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Between the murders. In the photos of the Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and the stomach. You'll see the victim's fatal injury. Hey, Boyardee is
For
good.
one, the
It is
concept is
good.
different.
I do like Chef Boyardee, but I get what they're trying to say.
In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Be cold out of the can.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Depending on which one.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
Switch, no.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how the body was suspended. Because all the victims were stabbed through their hands. How she was suspended. No, what was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember
all
what the
animals
killer
eating that
used to
sadness in-
suspend her?
Oh, it's cute. I mean, I like cooking. I haven't had Chef Boyardee in a long time.
They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
What's really funny about this is that I just finished eating a meatball sub.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
They're all male.
Pattern.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Notice. Because Chihiro was a girl.
Got it. Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They're all male.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is
So it's-
wrong with you?
Is it a fetish thing?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-blood fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly car!
Lowly? Cur?
Yes, thank you. You know what? I don't care if she's a killer, I'll take it. Say it again, honey.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
Duh.
That does make some amount of sense.
Yes, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She makes them.
Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Yes, Taka.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. There's like Jack cases. Oh, right. I have to use the WSD. The person who could have copied it is Byakuya.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
No.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Easy.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
The locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But how would you have known that?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
You just said we hadn't found the body yet. Another one? Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This is memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. Oni, I know what you want to say. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have a lie or contradiction loaded in truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot you can make later in your case. Okay, so basically it's me pulling the evidence and finding a contradiction.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the
Right there.
opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro,
Who was a girl.
No, it's wrong.
How would you have known that before we found the body? Bro, so much shit. It was so poorly handled.
I'll tell you what's so strange
The idea
about
what
that.
happens with Chihiro most of the game. This game did not age well. Well, and not to... This was an entirely independent game last I checked.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't
Like,
have
it was
known who
originally
the
an
victim
independent
was.
game that a different company picked up.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
How so?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is, I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Case in the other Genocide Jack murders. This proves Byakuya is responsible hidden in there. Oh boy. Actually,
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
it's right at the end.
What? The difference between the case you want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same scissors.
But
Right.
Chihiro was some kind of...
That's what? Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from?
I'd never seen
That rope before in my life.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Except he couldn't do that. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right?
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
What? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. Just now, something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... I guess it was the truth. The scene of the crime.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But
How would
you?
you?
Sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
I'm saving your ass from the girls. Shut up and listen.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Mm-hmm.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
The poster and the
believe
carpet.
I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she
Oh,
was killed
glasses, man.
somewhere else?
Hey, Rain.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
It took place somewhere else. Something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. The posters.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
Not quite. It was moved. Oop.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To
Because...
get into the locker rooms, you have to swallow your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
She could have gotten in the boys' locker. Yeah, there's a way.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She
No,
was
not
the
quite.
ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
Not what I'm looking for.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Crap. Do I get my bullet back?
Is it really possible?
Crap.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it!
Okay.
She must have hacked it. She was the ultimate.
I'm sure that would have been no...
Yeah, I don't think that's... She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
So
I'm
Latina?
talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, you're wrong. Because Leon's handbook was already broken.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills.
Yeah, because the only two books were for the girls.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her
We
own
spilled the tea now?
handbook,
Almost.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial
We're getting there.
assumption is just wrong?
It
Nope.
seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Nope, there is a way.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But I still don't know what else I can
Hold
do.
on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, Why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before we even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was... to the crime scene.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check
Be
it
sure
again?
to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our
He's trying to
hands?
get his stuffing.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm freaked out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
I'll do
Very
it.
well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead...
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Together for a brief prayer, Sakura then began to examine her
Be
body.
sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
What?
a boy!
She's a dude!
I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right?
Tea spilt.
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
That's the part that freaks you out.
Was a guy?
And so what?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Big agreement. And boys are best to be honest. Big.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
Yeah.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Welcome back, Elefante. We're recording part 10 of Danganronpa. This is probably going to be the last part I do.
Yes.
We just
wow.
confirmed that Chihiro
I don't know if
Fujisaki
this
is a
reason
boy.
you're hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought never even crossed my mind. I mean, I still would, you know? I'd still do it.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Like that Byakuya's sweating. Like, I didn't expect this.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
And I like that they actually make that clear. It's not like he thought of himself as male.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
That actually was confirmed, that Chihiro thought of himself as male.
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Shut up, Byakuya.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Not quite.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Stuff it out your ass.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
That's still messing with evidence, which is a crime.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Say it with your chest like a man.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
You think Shrimpy McGee could lift a dumbbell like that?
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
I like to start a petition to throw a brick at Byakuya.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy. Sorry, just... handbook to get in. Since Leon Handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Just give me like that. Makes me think something weird is going on. But that's what Celeste's account
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
I shouldn't have jumped the gun.
I'm sure if someone saw
The killer, perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
There, that's what I was looking for.
No! Not game over!
Shut up, Ifumi. There is an eyewitness.
Isn't there a single clue? Well,
Did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Bam.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, I've still got 3 more segments to go through? Sheesh.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And
Yeah,
then,
Chihiro's
I
chapter's
assume,
long.
He headed off to exercise.
I love Chihiro, though. He's a baby.
Track jacket and a duffel bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
He got taken away.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed him to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Yep.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for it.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
It's actually not that hard to make,
As
but
was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine.
Did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Because it was a blue track jacket.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Hold up.
My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
Hold on.
Not a chance.
When did we say it was a
You heard it,
blue
right?
tracksuit?
What he just said without even realizing it? First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as...
No, it's wrong.
How did you know that was a blue tracksuit?
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
Some stuff a jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No,
Taka.
that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry?
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He
You
walked
killed him.
past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stepped back in the jacket in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it.
when Celeste
What are
noticed
we?
it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the back. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew he did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe
He
you
referred to
didn't notice
Chihiro
it,
as-
Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Dude is gender neutral.
You notice such a tiny detail?
But yeah.
She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I
don't care how cool a bro you are, you hurt the baby.
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
No, we're not.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man.
That's just Hey, Arcana, long time no see. We're in part 10 of Danganronpa, and I'm kind of letting all the voice actors doing all the talking, because my throat is very sore.
Here it is.
Huh.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
On the ground because... it's Chihiro's.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
By hacking it. No.
Shoot!
Exploiting a bug? Then hitting its weak point?
I got it!
Really?
You already told us.
That's
before
two
that
cases in a row where I got one question weird.
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
He did talk about a weak spot, that's right.
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, That would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Oh. Shock resistance and shatterproof. High temperatures.
You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the
Floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried.
10 tons, right? Yeah.
That layer of air would get blown away.
The reason Leon's got all messed up is because he threw his jacket in the incinerator.
So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Mondo wore his clothes in the
How did we
sauna.
find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
So his ebook is broken too.
Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
Yeah, nope, the other guy wore a towel, so it's not Taka, it would only be Mondo.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
You're gonna... Look into the sauna. It would have been no one other than... Mondo himself.
Here's my answer.
Exact sauce.
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I don't want to believe it either, but something that proves it beyond the shadow of a doubt. The card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all.
No?
Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
Broke during their sauna showdown, if I can just prove that. Mondo has.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm not sure. Mostly by just... I'm just not sure which one to
Makoto's
use.
assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook
He could have
is
Chihiro's, not
actually
really.
broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, I did pick the right one.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
Is it
really
really
yours?
yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
He
What
has
I mean is,
Chihiro's.
I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
You
Well,
can take one.
here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
And now I have to do the comic book thing again. Okay. I saw the book. He stashed it away. And let's see. This is like the weird... Oh, wait, whoops. Okay, so that one there. And then that one... No, because that's the culprit holding it, so that's Chihiro letting it himself in. He's so cute, though. No. That's not right. No, that would do it. I think they even realize. I got that. No. No. Well, this part I can definitely confirm. So, wait. Like that? I'm gonna go, see you later. Be safe. Alright, I think I got it.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Because she was a...
Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
What in there? What? Okay, where'd I get it wrong? Alright, hold on. Where'd I screw this up? Splatter on the poster? Probably there?
The killer is you!
Let's see if it catches up. The point of the dumbbell should go there.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
So I have some parts that don't match up.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
No, I didn't land my reasoning. Oh god. I don't have that much left. I think there's a few other that don't match up. Possibly like this? No, that doesn't feel quite right. What would this have been used for? Like this?
The killer is you!
Oh, that's the part I got. What? I thought of him grabbing the poster. Oh. He grabbed the poster. Oh, I can't screw this up now. It is also... I've also been awake for a very long time. Okay. So he cleaned up the room, he took the poster, he picked up Chihiro, and went into the girls' locker room. Yeah. Maybe this?
The killer is you!
There, he cleaned up the
Which
posters.
is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First,
Not quite
then
right.
removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks have been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Okay.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
No. Oh, crap. The end of the debate. Time to reveal the blackened. Oh, shoot. Ah. Most votes is Makoto.
Is this really?
Okay, how far back is it gonna take me?
I refuse to give up yet.
How far back is it gonna take me? Okay, that's not so bad. Alright, so first of all, we got the blue duffel bag. That part we got right. And then Chihiro was able to just go right in. Because they're actually a guy. And let's you just try again from full... I'm on gentle mode. If that says anything. So there's kind, gentle, and mean. So I'm basically playing on medium difficulty. I'm sure if I played on hard mode, it would actually send me all the way back. Okay. He lifted the dumbbell. Oop. The blood got on the poster. Then he cleaned up and went to work. Moving him to the girls' locker room, where he then assembled the murder. And then stupid rich boy decided, hey, I'm gonna get involved in this. That part I got right. Alright, hold on. I did get something wrong, though. Didn't I?
Here's exactly what happened.
I think I got it.
First,
I caught all this. Pardon the rapid clicking. Why is Chihiro so precious? Oh, just you got the last bit wrong, but oh well.
she
Ah!
made her way to the... But how could the victim... Simple. Which is why he would... Once inside, it seems likely that the killer grabbed the near... and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and
X5
carpet...
may be wrong. Oh.
It was likely in the...
Yeah, we caught that part. We caught that part.
Then, and final of girls, but this alone. After all, using one of those.
So we got all that right.
And that's exactly how the killer did. With the carpet and the poster, they changed the layout of the boys. That could have been the end of it. Yakuya discovered.
To some extent, you can.
So
It
he
was
went
more
and grabbed
important.
the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used. Then, using the Vic, he wanted to create the.
Arg. What? Just the violent door opening?
The killer is you.
Really? Oh god. Maybe just that? And then...
Here's
That?
exactly what happened.
Okay.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other there, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna.
There we go.
The reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence?
It's all
You
there.
need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Early in the trial. Handbook right now. Become clear. Another one. Oh boy. Here we go. Time to talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. During the bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. And even at this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. Mouse, right mouse, left mouse, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. This only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. It wouldn't be fair if only you got to assess the special time, right? We've added prepared something called negative time that your opponent can use. If your opponent activates negative time during the bullet time battle, your own tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to keep the buttons in rhythm. Wait, fever time at this point. Nah, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what to be worried about. Okay, you're gonna just accept that you're broke. Because she was biologically a he. Yeah. Oh, I have to do it against Taka? Oh, bro.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Mondo transphobic. Well, I don't think that was what it was.
So far as right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Hey, I got an A on this one.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
It was more to do with
What's it
him
gonna
being
be?
weak. You're gonna see it here.
What's gonna be? What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right. Again! Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of this murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who really doesn't want to hear it, you can go ahead and click the control key to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide it and buried himself further and further into that weakness. to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen his as his way out. Now nobody would be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turns out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced this revealing and of embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
what?
And yet...
I'm sorry,
I'll talk about it right now.
but
Just don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my
I
chance.
want to change.
Stronger, and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. And with that at the front of his mind, he resolved to make immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell the person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And that person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
it was me. It sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided to Mono, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Monokuma reading that. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? I mean, why he carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what he meant. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
It could have been part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why? Why would he do that?
The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you?
Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing you could do have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone? It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother, Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of a starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, had grown into the biggest biker gang of the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was just peaches and gravy. But then Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday. His brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw at Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I just...
Gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I just gotta come out on top.
And on that night, his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry.
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit anyone that his own weakness that had caused the accident. As a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth.
Yanni, how's it going?
He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong.
And yet... As soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would have all been for nothing. So that's why.
Mondo.
After I saw Monokuma had on me, my head filled with kind of fuzzy uneasiness, and it just started swirling around.
Yanni, that's called a pompadour.
I'd never felt anything like it before.
I
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. It was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. Right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Sorry I lied to you.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But
you're right,
I
but
want to change.
I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right?
Never heard of that hairstyle. Whatever secret
Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying it? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. I was so jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo.
I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to? Was I supposed to sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Samuel?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. I'm stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And I'm stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it!
Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that, he killed another living being in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets to the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in here? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say it again! I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Iwata, the ultimate biker gang leader.
No, wait!
Let's
Wait!
give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Sad, wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
It's gonna get ran over by bikes. Wait, Nick, dude? Oh, I'll just let this speak for itself. Pompadour Monokuma.
The Cage of Death.
Well, I wasn't too far off. Moving at high speeds in an electric orb. He got plasmified. And yeah. Turned into butter. And served on Monokuma's pancakes. You know, as silly as that's supposed to look, that only makes it all the more terrifying.
Laugh at death, and your soul will forever be at peace.
Can't be. My brother.
Another murder, another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. And Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to.
What a disappointment. This is the end of the game.
Byakuya,
What is this?
you're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of your friends is dead, do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you, but I don't have a response except that.
however,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
what?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm and emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. The rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
You mean you actually witnessed the murder?
He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
Saying you knew about the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right from the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about the Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that. To create a fake murder scene? But, damn man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byaku turned to look at me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain unremarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh? I'm up next?
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating.
I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. God grave! I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ah, noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Taganini family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Ooh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you.
I swear, whatever it takes, I'll kill you.
Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap.
I can only do that voice for so long.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that you felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All the courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask
As
you.
long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh, my, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Chapter 2, Boy's Life of Despair. The end. And I have been at this for more than 14 hours. I think this is a good ending point. Got a crazy diamond present. Would you like to save your data? Yes. And I think this is gonna be a good point to get ready to lay down. So, oop. Save. Oh. This is where I close this. We'll load that up next time. For now, YouTube, I'll see you in the next episode.